So if you're tired of AI that just takes your photo and gives you an effect, you don't have any control and you lower your resolution, today's tutorial is for you. We're gonna show you a professional grade editing technique that allows you to create a vintage effect from start to finish on any photo. And best yet, you retain 100% of your resolution. This is not using any AI. So we're starting off in Photoshop 2026. Now, the first thing that I wanna do is grab my highlights to create that bloom effect. It's super cool, easy to do. All you have to do, just make sure you're clicked on your background layer. We're gonna go up to the select menu and we're gonna go down to where it says color range. Select color range. Now, the cool thing with select color range is right down here where it says selection preview, yours might be set to none, in which case it's gonna look like this. I recommend changing this right to grayscale. There we go. Now, you're gonna have the eyedropper tool right here. You can actually click on different color ranges throughout your photos to make selections. But what I suggest doing is selecting on the highlights of your image. And you can see basically I'm just selecting on the sky of my image. Now, here we have a fuzziness slider. I can choose to select less or select more of my highlights. I'm gonna just go ahead with something right about here in the middle. Now, whatever I see on the screen, the lighter areas, that's what's gonna get selected. That's what we're gonna duplicate to create this bloom effect. Okay, so we're selecting this. The lighter areas will get duplicated. We're ready to go. You can hit OK. Fantastic. So we have our selection active. Now what we wanna do is duplicate this selection to a new layer. It's really easy to do. Just make sure you're selected on your background layer. We're gonna hit Control or Command J. Control or Command J. And as soon as I do that, you can see it brings everything that was in the selection onto a new layer. Now, we're gonna grab the Move tool real quick. You don't have to do this. I just wanna grab the Move tool right here, and I can show you that by moving this around, we've literally just duplicated only the highlights to a new layer. Okay, now we're gonna put them exactly where they were. So if I turn this off and on, you're not gonna see anything because they are exactly where they were. But now it's time to create that bloom effect. So here's what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna go ahead and turn this into a smart object. That way we can change the bloom effect at any time. Let's go ahead and click on our layer. We're gonna go to Filter, and we're gonna go to Convert for Smart Filters. This makes it a smart object, so it's Convert for Smart Filters. Now we see we have a smart object icon right over here, and we're ready for our blur effect. So we're gonna go to Filter, down here to Blur, and we're gonna go to our Gaussian blur. Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur. There we go. Now, with your Gaussian blur, this is what creates that bloom effect. And look how cool this is. You can just choose any type of bloom effect that you want. And of course, you can use this to add like atmosphere and haze, all kinds of really cool effects to your photo. I really like that. So let's hit OK. Now, we did just mention that we were using a smart object, so we could change that at any time. So let's go ahead and show you that because it's really cool. So remember, we created a smart object here, which used a smart filter. Now here we have our Gaussian blur, and if I want to, I can double click right here where it says Gaussian blur, and I can literally change this amount of blur at any time. So you can do this at the end of the photo, at any time you're happy, you just go ahead and change that and you're good to go. All right, now the coolest part about today's tutorial is you can download this exact sample image and PSD file totally free. Just click on the link right down below and you'll download it to your computer. Again, it's free, so go ahead. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and move to our next step. Our next step is going to be adding our grain or noise. For that, we have a brand new adjustment layer. We're gonna go to our layer menu. We're gonna go to new adjustment layer and we're gonna go to grain. Previously, this was a very complicated process. Now it's an adjustment layer. So we're gonna go to our grain adjustment layer. Let's go ahead and hit OK. And then here in our properties panel, we're just gonna bring up our grain. Because if you were going for this vintage effect, you need to have some grain in there, right? Without any grain, it just doesn't look as cool. So we're gonna go ahead and add some grain. Let's go ahead and zoom out. I want you to look at your image as a whole. It's not important that grain looks good when you're zoomed in. Go ahead and look at your image as a whole because that's how people are going to be seeing it. So you can use more grain than you think because if you don't use a lot of grain, sure, maybe if you zoom in, you're gonna see it, but you wanna be able to see it from the whole photograph. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and bring our mount up. We can change our size of our grain, as you can see there, and you can even change the roughness of your grain. I like a little bit of a rougher grain. All right, that's looking great. And again, you can change the setting at any time. And now it's time for what I think is like kind of the most important and most interesting part of this tutorial. We're going to be using a levels adjustment layer. This allows us to work with our highlights, midtones, and shadows, but it also allows us to edit color. And a lot of people don't know that a levels adjustment layer is fantastic for color, especially for these type of effects. So we're going to go ahead and talk you all the way through it. Okay, we're going to start here by going to our layer. We're going to go to new adjustment layer, and we're going to go to levels. Layer, new adjustment layer, into levels. There we go. Just hit OK. Now, here you have your levels adjustment layer. Again, I'm in my properties panel. So with our levels adjustment layer, this is where I want you to look. Really, really, really important, and it's a little bit hidden. So here where we see RGB, okay? If you click on that, you're gonna see RGB, that's great. That's gonna adjust your lights and darks. But if you go to red, green, and blue, this is going to allow you to adjust your different color channels in your image. All right, we're gonna get to that in a second. For now, we're gonna stick with RGB, but we're gonna go ahead and use those other color channels because that's where like the secret superpower, that's where it's located. Okay, let's stick with RGB. Now, I'm gonna quickly explain, we actually have two different graphs with levels, and it's really important to know the difference between both of those. So the first graph here on the top, these are your input levels. So this is my black point here. So if I click and drag this, what it's gonna do, you can see this line here that I'm kind of following along. This is called my histogram. This basically dictates the light and dark information of your image. The dark information is on the left and the light information is on the right. So this point here is my black point. And what happens is if I take this point and bring this from the left to the right, it makes all of this information here, it just turns it completely black, as you can see, okay? Now here on the right-hand side, I have my white point, so I can click and drag that, and it's gonna take all of the information to the right of this point and turn it completely white. So I've got a really, really compressed image. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and bring this white slider from left back to the right. I think this is looking a little bit better. I want it to be subtle, like obviously you can go crazy if you want to, but I want it to be a little bit subtle. Now, we talked about two different graphs. The top graph here, this is your black point and your white point. You can also adjust your midpoints by making your mid area brighter or darker. Now, here on the bottom, you have your output levels. This adjusts the brightness of your blacks and the brightness of your whites. So for instance, let's go ahead and take this slider. We're gonna bring it over. You can see we have really dark black for a lot of my image. But now I wanna adjust the brightness of those blacks. So I can take this slider and start bringing it over, and you can see all of a sudden what was black now actually becomes gray. So you can use both of these sliders with each other. Now, on the right-hand side, we're gonna take our whites and I'm gonna bring those over, but maybe I don't want my whites as bright. Maybe I want my whites to be kind of gray. And you can do that by clicking and dragging over here, and you can see now we're starting to get a really cool vintage effect. So with these tools, we've started a great process, but I don't wanna do all of this in RGB. I wanna start bringing in color. So let's go ahead and reset this. Here's how to do it. It's easy. On the bottom here, just click on this reset icon right down here. So we're gonna reset this adjustment, boom, back to normal. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my black point. Let's go ahead and click and drag this here just to the left. There we go. But now, instead of messing with this slider here on the bottom, let's go into our different color sliders. So we're gonna go right here where it says RGB, we talked about this earlier. We're gonna click there, we're gonna go to the red channel. Let's go to the red channel, and now let's go ahead and grab this slider. And look what happens. It starts to bring red into my shadows. How cool is that? If I click on the right side, it's gonna bring the opposite of red into my highlights, which is gonna give me this cyan effect. I can even grab this middle slider here and I can push more red or more cyan into my midtones. How cool is this? So now we're starting to see, whoa, this is a really cool vintage effect because I can go through my different color channels and I can color this however I want. So let's go here down to our green channel, and we're gonna go ahead and put some greens into our shadows as well. And maybe we're gonna grab the other side of here, maybe put a little bit of magenta into our highlights. Let's go to our blue channel, and I'm gonna grab some blues, and we're gonna put some of the blues into our shadows as well, and maybe some yellows into our highlights. And then all of the sudden, look at this, just this one layer completely changes the coloring of my photograph. And I can go back into my levels adjustment layer. I can adjust my black point at any point. I can adjust my white point, but that is all. Let's go ahead and make our center area just a little bit brighter, that's all going to be completely variable, and you can make changes at any point in time, so you can dial in exactly the vintage effect that you want. Now, I was inspired by an actual vintage photo that I saw at my parents' house. It's something they took years back, and it was in full color, I'm sure, and now it just kind of looks like this. And I was like, that's a really cool tutorial idea, and it's something completely manual that we can do with any one of our photos. Now, if you want a little bit of a bonus, my suggestion would be to create a couple different adjustment layers for levels and then see which one you like. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just make this one invisible real quick. We're going to do one more layer. We're going to go to new adjustment layer and over to levels again. Same thing like we did before. Let's go ahead and grab that slider. And this time I want to bring to my green channel. We're going to go ahead and put a lot more greens into my shadows. There we go, some magenta there. And we're going to go into our blue channel. There we go. And really kind of pump in the blues. Ooh, with warm highlights, that's looking great. Let's go back to our RGB channel. And there we go. I want to pump in those darks, maybe make this a little bit so cool. Let's go to that blue channel again, and let's just kind of bring that a little bit lighter. There we go. You can see any one of these sliders you can use. So I really love the idea of creating a couple of variations. And then check this out. You just turn one off and turn the other on, and then you have completely different looks for your images. You can go ahead and save out multiple different variations if you want, and then you can kind of decide which one you like better. Or you can look at this. You can leave them both on. Check that out. You can leave them both on, and then they can combine in really interesting ways. So like the possibilities are totally endless. But with this, remember, we still have this awesome blur layer that's on the bottom. And check this out. I can double click right where it says Gaussian blur. I can double click on that, and I can change the amount of blur at any time. Okay, and it's going to work through my coloring and through my grain. It's all going to work together, and I can get this exactly fine-tuned exactly how I want. Hit OK, and we're totally done. All right, don't forget you can download this sample image and PSD totally free. Just click on the link right down below. And if you want to get more free tutorials every single week since 2011, go ahead and click on subscribe. Thank you so much, and I will Phlearn you later. Bye, everyone.